Hello guys, in today's video we are going to explain on cross entity validations. So for example, I am having one business rule. So suppose if I select this particular rule here, supplier hierarchy node, then we have to make, so I am selecting supplier hierarchy node here. Then after selecting this, it has to come as supplier role is mandatory. So as we know, supplier will have two roles. So let's make FLVN00 as mandatory. So if we select a hierarchy node, then if this particular role does not exist in in this particular business partner, then it has to throw an error message here that FLVN00 role is mandatory. Like that we are building this now. So let's go to the scenario. So I am using DQM as we know. So before doing DQM, first I want to know backend code of this. So when we are entering supplier hierarchy node, this is a description which we are able to see in the UI, but actually in backend this description will have a digit to it, assigned to it. So that one we can see here, TBD0001. I am just checking here and seeing what are the available options here. So this is business partner grouping. So here we can see supplier hierarchy node. So S012. So S012, just remember this guys, S012. So accordingly we have to create the business rule in DQM. So I am going to Fieri /n /ui2 /flp. Now this will open in Fieri. So this is the opening. So in Fieri Launchpad, I will open data. In Fieri Launchpad, I will open data quality management for business partners. Go to this tile and go to data quality rules. So we can see nothing is there here. This is some empty draft here. I can be able to delete it also. Let's try. So it is in enabled mode. So let's ignore this. Now I will create one new business rule, data quality rule here. So click on create option. So header information, rule ID we have to give. So rule ID check role for BP group. I will give like this. So for a particular business group, this role has to be checked. That's what this is mean by. Now I click on enter. This is accepting this rule ID. Now rule name means what we have to show in the UI. So rule name I will give as role FLVN00 is mandatory for this VP group. Like this I will give. That's it. These are all optional fields, base table and checked field. So checked field means whatever field we enter here, that field will be shown with red border in the UI. That's what checked field means. So now I am going and creating this empty one. So after clicking on create only, new usages we can add here. So I am clicking on create. So this has been created. Now this usage add will get enabled. So once this business rule is sent for revision or anyway, we can add here as well. So I am clicking on add button here. I want to click in check in change request. This is for MDG, right? So for MDG change request we have to give this one. Now I will click on prepare. So here we have to enter base table. Base table means initially which one on which entity it has to get triggered. So I want to make it triggered for BU200 level. So I will go to BU200 general data. Now click on prepare usage. So this has been created successfully. Now I will go into scope expression. So scope expression, here it has been opened. Now in edit mode I have to change this one. So edit operand, use direct value from default objects. I can make it as, so first we have to understand what is scope and what is condition. Scope means to which business, to which type of data this business rule is applicable. So this business rule is applicable only for BU group with some business partner grouping. So here what I will do, in edit operand I will try to extract that one. So in context I want to take grouping. So I will click on this. So business partner grouping is equal to, here I will check this one. So supplier hierarchy S012, I am checking this. So if this is equal to this, then only that business grouping has to get checked. So this is initial expression. So if this is not having this grouping, it doesn't even trigger this role. This rule itself will not trigger if this is not satisfying. So I am giving this one and I am activating this. So I am going back to main one. Here condition expression, it has been generated. So go to this condition expression. Here also we have to do in similar way, but we have to understand what is the exactly what we are going to do from front end perspective. So here whenever we are giving supply hierarchy node, this condition, initial condition scope expression, it will get triggered. So after that condition expression will get triggered. So first scope will get triggered. If that scope expression satisfies, then only it will go into condition expression. So now we are in condition expression, right? That is why what we have to do now, we have to write a program which fetches roles in this particular CR. That's what we have to do. So to write a program, we are having some options which are provided in BRF itself. So go to edit. Here we can see create expression. So here when we click on this create expression, so first here if you want to change anything, if you click on this, it is coming here. That means this one we don't need to do anything. So I will change it to direct input. This one I want to make it as direct input. I just want to check one function call. So here I don't want to make any changes, so I will leave this one as it is. I am going to edit operand. Now I will click on create expression. So create expression. Here we have to select one expression. So let's go down. You can see procedure call. Click on this. And so basically what is procedure call is, procedure call means whenever we want to trigger a particular piece of code from BRF plus, we will use this one. This is one procedure call and this is function call. We can do anything. So now I will try to do function call for now. So if you do function call, we have to create function module. If you do procedure call, we have to generally do a class and static method inside it. So I am giving function call for now. But function call means whenever we create any function, we have to create function groups and all. So that is why I am creating one procedure call here. So I am giving that name as zps underscore pc underscore procedure call underscore. So what is that call name? So read role. I am giving this one as this procedure call name and clicking on read roles FLVN00. Now I am clicking on create and navigate to object. Save this one as well. Now this has been created procedure call. So I am saving this. So this procedure call has been saved. Now don't touch anything here. We have to create a procedure call. So SC24 we have to create a util class. So ZCL read object read utility. So I am just giving ZCL BP read utility, something one class I am creating it for now. Read utilities for validations in BP. I am just giving a public class like this and clicking on save local object. So this class has been created, saving this and creating a method here. So read role FLCU FLVN00. So instead of this method I will click is FLVN00 underscore exists. So like this I am creating this method name. Any method name is fine. Level public. No, this is level static I want to give. So static method visibility I will give as public, so it should be accessible from BRF plus. Now in description returns true. So this one if this returns true if FLVN00 exists. Like this I will create one new method. Now let's click on save changes. Now here I will create the code CL. So as we know we have to read from MDG API classes. So for that initially we have to take context data. So LO context equal to CL USMD app context as we know. So in this get instance, so all are already aware of this get context. Now after getting that context LO context, in this we have to get attributes. So get attributes. Now I will get all these details. So I am importing all this here EO model. So I want to import into IO model here LO model. So from this only I will read the data which has been entered by the user. So rest all I don't need. If we need then we can use it. So rest all I don't need for now. Now I also need workflow. So change request ID also I need it. So equal to data LV underscore C request underscore ID. So I am using this one. That's it. This is enough. Let's start trying to read role data. So LO model. Now in LO model, read char value is the main one. So here I will enter the value of the type 1 entity. So type 4 entity also we can enter here. So no issues. So I am entering. First we have to read the business partner number. So for to get business partner number first, we have to first enter USMD C request. So what this will do? This will go into this and it will return USMD parameters related data. So to do that, again we have to add here that related structure. So data LT C request object list type table of. So I am giving as a data USMD. So this one is fine. So I am using type table of this one USMD S C request entity. So this one I can use it here, importing. So here I am giving LT C request object list. So this particular data will be received. Now in LT selection, sorted table, range per field. So inside this we have to pass CR ID. So here, so before going here, let's double click here, go inside, understand what is it. So USMD TS cell is there. This is the type USMD TS cell. So I am using that only. So directly I am giving value USMD TS cell. So here field name equal to USMD C request. Now sign equal to I include. Now option equal to here low equal to. So we have to low means here we have to make USMD request as LV C request underscore ID. Like this we can give here. That's it. So let's check activate. I am selecting all this related to this class and clicking on activate. So this has been activated successfully. Now after getting this object list, from this object list we have to read BP header data. So I am adding one condition, read table LT C request object list with key USMD. So I am giving as this one with key USMD entity equal to USMD entity equal to BP header and USMD entity object is equal to BP header. So like this we can do now. After that we are getting USMD value. So that USMD value is nothing but business partner value. So data LV BP ID equal to this value. But business partner it will be of 12 characters. That is why let's define at the top of the code. So data LV BP ID equal type BU underscore business partner. So let's select this one BU underscore business partner. Now remove this implicit enhancement, implicit declaration here. That's it. Now this has been done. We will get business partner number. Now again, so LO model. Now what we will do? Again we have to use read char value. This time in field name we have to pass BP role. So we are passing BP role now. Here in selection criteria, so in selection criteria we have to pass value USMD TS cell. So like above one only, we can just copy similar approach here, copy here, paste here. So now let's change details here. So field name equal to so it is also not needed. So BP role means all will come. But in BP role we have to give this condition. So let's see for now what is going to happen. BP header I am giving, and in change request ID I will give as LV BP ID. So let's click on check. Now importing ET data. So generally if you want to get it dynamically we have to use read data reference. So in this we can see get data reference in LO model. So there will be something called get create data reference. But as I know rule BP role is having generated structures in the system. So MDG will generate some PP structures in the system. I will use that one only here. So that will be a bit shortcut. So I am doing like that. So data LT BP role type table of now slash mdg bp slash underscore s underscore bp underscore here pp underscore. Now this is pp mapping generally. So here I will add as entity name. So bp underscore role. That's it. This type of table will be created, internal table. Now I will add that here. That's it. Now let's see how this is working. We may face some errors as well. Let's see. Now I will keep one debugger here with my user ID. Keep it external debugger. So it is with my user ID. Now I am going to BRF plus. Here now I will use this static method. So first we have to give class name. So ZCL BP read utility. So ZCL read BP utility. So this is the class. So this class is having this description: GCL BP read utility. Now we got this. Now method name, this one. Now I am saving this and activating. So we are getting this error, no result data object set. So this one we have to set it. Now let's set this one as boolean. I am giving this as boolean. So this will return true or false value. Now save it and activate. Now we have to open mapped parameters and all. So go back and click on this again. So go to edit mode. So these mapped parameters we have to add. Now as we see here methods, this method is not having any parameters which are returning outside. So now I will add one returning parameters rv underscore is role exists. This one of type. So this is I want to make it as returning parameter. So associated type I will give as abap bool. So this is boolean. Now save this and activate. Now we have to go inside source code of this method. So here at last let's return this parameter as loopet. So loopet lt bp role into data ls bp role. So all the roles will come here. I am giving end loop also here. Now in ls bp role what happens is ls bp role, in this we will have business partner id, bp role id and all. So we have to read bp role id only. So if bp role id is equal to fl vn00, so if that role id matches, then rv is role exists is equal to abap true. True it has to return, abap true. But let's understand from a business rules perspective. So in DQM whenever it results false, then only that rule will show in the system. That means it will throw error message when it is false. But here when this role is there, then it is returning as true. That means when role is not there, it will return false and it will throw error message. So this is correct. So and then return end if. So at last I will add rv is role exists is equal to abap false. So if that role exists, it will give is true. If that role does not exist, all the iterations will be passed here. Later it will come into this code because it didn't passed into this, so it will not come outside of this loop and exit from this program. So what happens is it will go into all the iterations, but it will not satisfy this condition. So that is why at last it will give as abap false. That is the concept. That is why I kept code like this. Now activate this and keep a breakpoint here. Now let's see. Now go back and open this again. This time we have to be able to see mapped parameters. Activate this. Let's go back and open this again. So it is having inactive changes. Go inside again. This time let's go inside this also. Here this will get enabled, mapped parameters. So we have to click on add parameter. Is role exists? So this is optional returning parameter. So open this. This assigned value means we have to assign to boolean. So what happens, this whenever this particular method returns something as a parameter, this particular component name here, that will be mapped to assigned boolean value. So that boolean value is nothing but this result data object, this one. So this will be mapped to this value, and then it will particular procedure call will return this boolean value here. So save it and activate. Go back. This one also, if this one, because it is boolean, so if it returns boolean, then if it returns true, then it will not show anything. If that particular value is not there, it will return false, this particular value. So it will show error in the system. That's what it will happen. So I will activate this. Go back. So this data quality rule has been created. Condition and scope expressions are now status active. Now let's approve this. I will approve this because we cannot enable it now without approving. So approve and then enable this one. Now this rule has been enabled. Now it is ready to check. I will go to UI. So leave it. NWBC is there. Click on new button, organization. Click on new organization. Here create customer and click on OK. So description, anything is fine. Now in grouping, so once we click on check initially, it will not throw any error message related to that. Once we click on this one, so I am giving supplier hierarchy node. This time this procedure call is getting triggered. So let's see how this code is working. So this will give LO model and C request ID. So 728 means this one is change request of this particular scenario. After that, read char value, it is going to give us this object list. So sequence number is 1, BP header, and it is giving this value. So this USMD value is nothing but this is temporary value of the business partner header. So that is why I am extracting this into business partner ID. So this is coming here. Later we are calling BP role and assigning here. Now this BP role, it is empty. So if this is empty, what will happen? As we know, loop does not execute, and this particular role exists will return false value. So click on continue. We can see this cross entity validation is getting triggered. So role FL's VN00 is mandatory for this BB group. So that's what. Now let's give that role here. I am deactivating this breakpoint now. Oh, by mistake I clicked again. This is not required. Two rows I added by mistake. Now I will add FLVN00 and click on enter. Now I will click on check button. Now see what happens. So LO context read char value. Now in this read char value, in LVBP role we can see one row got added. So that one row BP role ID FLVN00 is coming here. Now what happens? It will go into the loop and this role ID it will get checked. So it will go inside and it will return true. So it will come outside of this method. Now it will not show any error message related to that. So we can see it is asking for city, country, region key, language key and all, but it is not asking for this particular value. So that's what, guys. This is like this only we have to do cross entity validations by using DQM. So without any program it is not possible, like we have to add a procedure call like this, or else function call also it is possible. So but generally when we are using classes, as we generally create utility classes, a class will have multiple static methods, right? So it is like a group. So that is why I will prefer to use utility classes like this. So that's it, guys, for this video. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.